Hello all and welcome back to another wonderful video. Today I'm here in front of this book cover looking thing to talk about more My Little Pony Generation 5 news. Literally, as soon as my other video was finished editing and it was about to be uploaded, more news came out about Generation 5, and that new news is this book right here. This is an annual. It's basically this little comic pamphlet kind of book thing. I don't really know what to call it. It's more of an interactive book, I guess. It's got stickers and all kinds of little activities and things like that, and it's actually got scenes from the movie that's coming later in September. Things are starting to hype up for the My Little Pony Generation 5 movie, and I am starting to think that we might get a trailer here soon, perhaps next month. That's what my guess would be, but only time will tell. But today we're going to be going over this annual because there is some information in here that is insane and very, very interesting. So, starting off, this book right here, if you're curious, comes from a UK Amazon listing. So, this is being reported on by Equestria Daily, and now I'm reporting it on to you. So, starting off right here, we have a little book cover. Hitch is finally there with the main cast. I don't know why he hasn't been there in all the promotional material, but it looks like he's finally there in this picture here, so that's at least something good. Maybe he doesn't die after all. But anyway, let's move on to this first picture here. This first picture here shows us a little bit of some screen caps from the movie. As you can see here, these little images here are very clearly from the movie, and we get to see a little bit of explanation on the backstory of Sunny Starscout. We can see that she was a young Earth pony, and her father being this character here most likely, told her stories about ancient Equestria and Princess Twilight Sparkle. If we take a close look at this book right here, I wouldn't be surprised if this book right here that this father is holding and talking to, you know, his daughter or whatever like that, I would not be surprised if this is a book that has all kinds of stories about Twilight and her friends and things like that, or ancient Equestria, etc., etc. And this is the book that she carries with her on her main adventures, the book that we see when she's in the elevator, the book that we see that she's carrying around all the time. I would not be surprised if that's not the book that she's holding. So, moving on, this talks about how her father would tell her stories about Twilight Sparkle and her friends, and how they taught every pony about the magic of friendship, and that they were the guardians of harmony. Sunny loved these stories about the olden times when Earth ponies, unicorns, and Pegasi all lived in peace, and she dreamed of having a friend who could fly around or float things. Maybe she could figure out how to bring the friendship of magic back. So she told her father, someday the both of us will meet unicorns or a Pegasus, and we'll be best friends forever. This is really interesting, and it kind of seems like something that we're going to see at the very beginning of the movie. This seems like the first 5 minutes of the movie, if not like a flashback scene that happens a little bit later in the movie. Perhaps something that kind of her motivations or question or something like that, and then we get to see this flashback of her and her father and everything like that. So those are the two main places that I think we'll see this, is either more towards the middle act, like at the beginning of the middle act, towards the end of the first act, or if not the first 5 minutes. So that's about when I imagine these little scenes will happen. But you can see that she's most likely going to be playing with her father with these little action figures and things like that, and her father's going to be telling her stories and things like that. It looks like she's trying to cosplay as one of the characters because she's wearing these wings. Maybe those wings are meant to be like Fluttershy wings, or Twilight Sparkle's wings or something like that. I don't know, but it is what it is, and I think it's very interesting. And as you can see here on the wall, she has painted a picture of herself and some random unicorn, and she's, I guess, doodling out her friendship with these random other pony tribes and things like that. Now, all of this said, what I would hope happens, what I really, really, truly hope happens, and I doubt it will happen because it's, you know, this kind of movie, but what I really hope happens is that I hope her father is killed by a Pegasus or a unicorn in the movie. I would love if that's what happens. I know that sounds dark, but I think that would add to Sunny's character, and I think it would add to the whole motivations and everything like that. I think it would be a very interesting concept if, you know, she tells her father that they're both going to meet some unicorns or a Pegasus and they'll be best friends forever, and then something happens and her father is killed or dies in some way, and it's presumably to blame on a Pegasus or unicorn. Maybe the unicorn didn't just outright kill them. Maybe something happened by accident and they died by the hands of a unicorn or Pegasus. And I know I just said hands there, but forgive me, I just woke up. But anyway, I think it'd be very interesting, especially if Hitch is older and he's related to her in some way, and he you know, resents the other tribes because of this. I think it'd be very interesting for his character as well. So we'll only have to wait and see. But we have more than just these images here. These images here don't really seem to share too much more other than what I've already shown so far. But let's move on. If we move on to this next image here, we have another picture featuring Hitch, which thank God Hitch is there. And if you look closely at this little thing here, this little picture, you can very clearly see this little banister, not this banister, but this, well, I guess it's a banister. It's like stairs going up, all these craft stuff everywhere. If we actually look at this right here, which was toys that we got recently, this is what I talked about in my most recent video, but this very clearly is some kind of building, some kind of treehouse type thing, woods or something like that, where they're all living together in harmony, and they're all living together with Pegasus and Earth ponies and things like that. I would not be surprised if this is Izzy's home. As we can see from this image here, it is very clearly something that Izzy is working on. It's some kind of one of her weird creepy projects or something. I don't know what you would want to call that. It looks like a mess. But one thing to note here that I think is really interesting is that she calls it unicycling, which is where she recycles material. It's just recycling, but it's called unicycling because she's a unicorn. It's funny, and I think it's interesting, and I think this movie's gonna have a lot of funny jokes like that as well. I feel like it's gonna be a tearjerker with everything that we've seen so far. But this right here seems like the first time that Hitch is arriving at her home. Perhaps Hitch and Sunny are both being brought to her home because she stumbles into their town and she's like, "Oh, I come from this place over here. You know, Earth ponies and Pegasus and everything like that. They chill out, they hang. We're all buds over there. Here, let me show you. Come, let's go." And Hitch doesn't want to believe her. Hitch doesn't want to go or something like that, but Sunny believes her. Sunny wants to believe anyway, and she wants to go, and she convinces Hitch to go with her. They both go there, and I imagine this is one of the first scenes that we see is like he goes in there and he's like, okay, this person might be a little insane, and then he starts seeing that, you know, everyone is kind of living together in harmony, and it's kind of like a weird thing to him and a whole conflicting thing. But that's what I imagine this is going to be like. And lastly, we do have one more picture, and this one is very telling. It doesn't look like it at first, but if we actually look at this thing right here, Zip's Tangle Maze, we can see right here, Princess Zip wishes she could fly, but since magic disappeared, the royal family uses wires to pretend. Follow the wires to find out which one leads to Zip. Now, this is very interesting because this is the first time that we're seeing that even without magic, like, the fact that there's no magic whatsoever even affects the fact that they can fly. Like, no one can fly. That means we definitely aren't going to be able to see the unicorn use their horn. Maybe Izzy will be able to use her horn. I want to argue that she will be able to use her horn and her magic, at least to a small degree. And the reason why I want to argue that is because I think the little forest where she lives is going to be a place that has all this friendship and everything like that, and that magic of that friendship and everything like that is allowing her and the other people living there to actually fly, actually use their horns, and actually use magic and actually have magic to some degree. I think that's something that will happen, and this is what's going to spark their whole adventure to be like, okay, we gotta go to these other places and bring the friendship of magic back so that the magic will return, so that we can use horns and fly and do all these things. And we can bring peace and harmony and everything like that. I think that's going to be one of the things that happens here. I think it's gonna be very interesting, and this is the first time to my knowledge that we got confirmation that because there's no magic, no one can fly, and presumably no one will be able to use their horn. So take of that what you will. This is the new news that we got. This image here, like I said before, this is the only little thing that we got on this. But overall, I think it's very interesting, and I can't wait to see what else happens. Here's the cover again, if you guys are curious. It's interesting. I can't wait to see this movie. I can't wait. You know, after seeing this specifically, this little book right here specifically is what's starting to kick me off and my hype and everything like that. Before, I was only a little bit hyped, but after seeing this book and everything like that, and after looking through it and everything like that, at least the material that we were able to get from the Amazon link and everything like that, this looks amazing. I can't wait. The images that we're seeing in here, it actually looks really good. Like this picture here, these scenes, these screen caps from the movie actually look good. This little backstory with Sunny and her father and everything like that. If they do it right, this is going to be such an amazing story, and it's gonna really hit you in the feels early on and perhaps later on in the movie as well. It's going to be a very good movie. I have very good hopes for it now after seeing this, and I'm just excited. Let me know what you guys think of these pictures that we got. Let me know in the future what else you guys would like to see in terms of My Little Pony related content. I have something Discord related that I'm gonna be uploading soon on the channel, not the same day as this one, but sometime soon. I'm gonna be making a video about Discord and villains or characters that are stronger than him. So if you want to see that, or if you want to see some Ponytown content, I make Ponytown videos all the time. So if you guys want to see any of that, then please do feel free to like, subscribe, share, and do all those wonderful things like that. Because when you do those wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful yourself. And I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful. Also, as an added little thing here at the end, the answer is on page 69. Nice.